Hey, Mike with MacDonald.com here. In today's video, I'll be walking you through 12 ways to optimize your pest control website to generate more leads, so let's get into it. Now, before we jump into our list, there's one key thing that you really want to understand, and that's that getting more traffic to your website alone is not necessarily enough to increase conversions. A lot of people make this mistake and think that if they get a bunch of traffic to their website, it's going to be the solution to all of their problems, and in most cases, that's not really the case if your website isn't fully optimized to actually get conversions. So with that in mind, let's jump into the list. So the first way to increase conversions on your pest control website is by having a clear call to action to your offers that generate leads. So some different strategies that you can implement to generate more leads this way. One of them can be to include a clickable phone number right at the top of your website. You might even have this as a part of your menu that scrolls with someone as they scroll down the page, just giving them easy access to call your company. You also want to have a clear call to action in the form of a button at the top for something like requesting an estimate or requesting a quote or requesting a free inspection. Having that easily available on all of the pages right up there in the menu will make it very easy for someone to request one of those estimates or to schedule an inspection, whatever the case might be. So make sure that your call to actions throughout your website are very clear and easy to find, as that can help you generate more leads. Now, the second way to optimize your website is very similar to the first one, but this is to actually create different forms that people can opt in for that's going to resonate with whatever stage of the buying journey they're in. So for example, if someone is in purely research mode, maybe they don't really know if pest control is right for them, or if they even want to hire a pest control service, or maybe they don't even see the value of pest control, you might want to create some type of guide along the lines of a pest proofing guide on how to pest proof your home. And so it's a simple entry point that people can download if they're just learning the basics of pest control and maybe they haven't decided on a company yet. Now again, as I mentioned earlier, you might have other offers. Maybe it's a free estimate on your pest control services. Maybe you offer a free inspection where someone will actually go out to their home and inspect for pests. Whatever the case might be, you want to have these different levels of opt-ins for people to capture their information no matter what stage they're at throughout the buyer's journey. This will give you opportunity to not only gather their information, but then you can remarket to them on an ongoing basis to convert them into warm leads that are ready to hire your services. The third way to optimize your website is by creating a benefits-focused tagline. And so this will give people insight right when they get to your website, if they're in the right place, if they're looking to work with you, that you're the right company they should hire. So an example of this type of benefits-focused tagline could be something like, "We take the stress out of pest control and give you peace of mind with a pest-free home." You know, that hits on two possible pain points, someone being stressed about pest control and not really knowing what to do, and then it also hits on the benefit of having peace of mind of a pest-free home. So right away people can see that, so you want to have a tagline that's benefit focused like that, as it will build credibility for your site, let people know they're in the right place, and it gives them a reason to stick around and further check out your website. The fourth thing that you want to include on your website to optimize conversions is a why hire us page or a why us page. And so this page just really highlights why your company is different, why someone should hire your pest control service versus the competition, what makes you special, and you can really sell your story and the key difference of your pest control company in this area. And so again, for most people, when you just talk about features of your website or pest control in general, your company is really going to look just like every other company. So if you have a full dedicated page on why people should hire you and what's your key difference, it can go a long way of helping people choose your business over the competition. All right, the fifth thing that you want to include on your website are real photos. A lot of people, if they're just getting started, maybe they don't have photos yet, or they're not using real photos and they just have a bunch of stock photos on their website. This can really give people potential red flags that they shouldn't hire your pest control company. So some key things that you want to include are real photos. Make sure they're high resolution. The good news is that most smartphones today can take a high quality picture. Just make sure that you have good lighting. Take the photos horizontally, and then also try and make your photos tell a story. So showcase a specific type of service that you offer, for example. So maybe you offer exclusion, so you're sealing holes around the home so pests can't get in. Maybe you have a photo of your technician in action sealing those holes. Maybe you're putting out a barrier treatment around the home to keep pests out. You can have some great shots of that, of your happy technicians performing that service. Again, there's a lot of different options, but make sure that that photo tells a story. It's high quality, it's great lighting, and it looks like your technicians are enjoying themselves. And so when you have that combination, it really builds a lot of trust and credibility and authority for your pest control business, because again, potential customers are letting your technicians in their home, and that potentially can be a sensitive subject. People really don't want strangers coming into their home, so if you can build that trust up front with real photos, it can go a long way to helping people choose your pest control company over the competition. The sixth way to optimize your pest control website for conversions is to have a benefits focused messaging versus features focused. Now again, I talked about it briefly earlier, but when people think of pest control, they think of bed bug removal, rodent removal, pest prevention. Again, the list kind of goes on, but all those things sound pretty universal. And so one company talking about them doing those things versus another, you sound just like everyone else. So instead, highlight the benefits people get from hiring your service, or the benefits they get from using those features of your products. So as I mentioned before, if you pest proof a home or you focus on exclusion and sealing entry points, you might highlight the benefit of cost savings in the long run, because they might not need to hire a pest control service as often because their home is sealed and pests can't get in. Or again, maybe it's just a general statement about pest control, that having a pest-free home gives someone peace of mind, that they don't need to worry about scary surprises or pests damaging their home. A lot of different options, but focus on these benefits beyond just the features that you offer. The seventh thing that you want to include are dedicated service pages to the various services you offer. So again, this can be things like rodent removal, bed bug removal, termite removal, and the list can really go on, but you want to build out dedicated pages to these specific services, and there's several reasons to do so. One is that it can capitalize on the benefits of SEO. And so if you optimize these pages for the right keywords and those specific services, someone searching for those services in your area is much more likely to find that page and have that show up in Google if you don't mention that at all, or maybe it's just a sentence on your website that you offer that service. So having that dedicated page is important. On top of that, however someone gets to your website, if they're looking for a specific service, let's say for example, you had Google ads going out there talking about bed bug removal, and they get to your website and you don't have a bed bug removal page, they might get confused and think you don't actually offer that service, or they might see that you didn't take the time to build out a full dedicated page to it, so you might not really specialize in that service or really have high quality service in that area. The reality is that's probably not the case. You probably do a great job removing those bed bugs, but people visiting your website aren't going to know that if they don't see a full dedicated page to it. So again, there's many reasons to build service pages, but it can attract people via SEO, and it builds additional credibility and authority for your business. So it's recommended that you have them. All right, the eighth thing that you want to include is a blog to answer common questions your ideal customers have. And so when it comes to pest control, there's a lot of different subject matter elements that you can cover. It could be things like warning signs for pests, how to remove specific pests, or how to prevent specific pests, different ways to pest proof your home, comparing different pest control products. Really, the list can go on, but the more value-based content you have on your website in the form of a blog, the more likely people will visit your website. So if this content is valuable, it's in-depth, it answers common questions, when people are searching for those questions or on those topics, your website is more likely to come up. And if you have valuable content there, they'll see your pest control business as an expert. And again, the likelihood, if they're comparing around, that they're going to hire you over the competition, it goes way up that they'll hire you instead. So definitely include these blog content posts on your website. The next thing you want to include is a frequently asked questions page. So this is similar to a blog in the sense that it answers common questions, but this is more almost a convenience factor for your customer service team. So if you get a lot of common questions when people call in, or you're getting emailed the same type of questions again and again, you might consider adding a frequently asked questions page. Not only can that bring people in that are searching for those questions through SEO, but on top of that, it can save you a lot of headache and hassle, because you don't have to answer those questions individually through your customer service team. It's just right there on your website, and people can quickly get their answers And again, see that you're a credible expert in the industry, which can lead to them hiring you versus the competition. All right, so the next thing you want to include on your pest control website to increase conversions are location pages. And so these are basically very similar to a service page, but it's talking about just overall pest control services in general, and then that you perform those services in a specific service area. And so this is a great way to drive more local traffic to your business. So if you're a local business and you're servicing a bunch of suburbs in your area, this is a great way to bring in that local traffic. It can even help your website start to rank for when people use search terms for things like pest control services near me. And a lot of people do that, so it's a great way to optimize your website to generate more traffic and again, leads for your business. The next element you want to have on your pest control website to increase conversions are reviews and testimonials. And so again, today's society, most people want to see positive reviews on a company before they hire that company. And so this is a great way to do that. It can drive more people to your website. It can establish authority for your business. And you might have heard it before, but facts tell and stories sell. So the more positive reviews and stories that your happy customers showcase on your website, the more likely someone will hire you over the competition. All right, so the final element you want to include on your website is in-depth tracking and analytics. And so this is very important, and a lot of people miss this step. They don't install things like Facebook pixels. They don't install things like Google Analytics, various different tracking programs to see how people are behaving on their website. And so this is very important because it can help you dictate what's working and what's not, and maybe what you need to focus more on your website, and areas of weakness that you might need to further optimize for to get better results. So a lot of times you might need to hire an agency to do something like this if you're not very tech savvy, but it's definitely something you want to make sure is available and that you have access to on the back end of your website to see how things are performing. And with a few small tweaks, you can really take things to the next level and help your business generate more pest control leads. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some benefit and value out of it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. And if you'd like more tips and training and more strategies to generate more leads for your pest control business, we actually put together a free guide that teaches you step by step some of the best ways to generate leads for your pest control business. So if you'd like to download that guide, there'll be a link in the description below. So definitely check for it there. But if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new videos we put out to help you build a successful business. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.